so they won't be interrupting and there might be a delay, so that hopefully make that more orderly. Okay, go ahead, Coach.
Oh, it's just great to be here, great to be one of the, the teams, the opportunity to play for a chance to go to the College World Series here in the Super Regional. So it's been a long time coming for us. It's been 9 years, I guess, since Miami's been in this situation. So it's a great group of guys, great place to play. It's a place that we're somewhat familiar with, being in the ACC, but they were always on the other side of the conference, and it's just as familiar as you think we would be playing here. We're really not, because we used to play, coming once every like 3 or 4 years the way that it was set up. But still, it's just an honor and it's great to be playing this time of year again.
Okay, I'll open it up for questions for the
Remember, there's
players.
mics around the room, so. Players.
Coach, when you look at being able to make it to this point, getting hot at the right time, I guess how important is it to look at what your team has been able to accomplish in this short period of time to make it to this point and find kind of your stride at this current time?
I've been in college baseball for a long time, and when you get to this point, it's never about the best team. It's always about the hottest team. And obviously, talent is important, but being hot at the right time is what's most important. And this team's, we've had our peaks and valleys all year long, but we played really good baseball last week in Hattiesburg, and after we're in a good place, we're healthy. We got some players back at the right time. We're just playing good baseball right now.
Yeah, for AJ, are you going to be the starter on Friday night, and can you explain to us what your strengths are as a pitcher, why you've been successful this year?
I will be starting on Friday, and I truly believe that JD and Laz have done a great job developing me and really getting me working down in the zone. As a sinker baller with a slider that I have, really only plays down in the zone and really making sure that I live there throughout the entire outing and do those ground balls with defense like Cuvet, Ogden, Dorian, and Renzo work. So yeah, there's my strengths there.
What's velocity? How hard do you throw?
Right now I'm sitting about 91, 93, so around there right now.
For AJ and Daniel, how much do you feel like the ACC as a league has prepared you coming in? Obviously, this series will guarantee at least one representative of the ACC in Omaha, and possibly having 4 other, 5 teams total. What does that say about the league and how it's prepared?
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably the strongest league in the team this year, obviously with most teams in the Super Regional, so I think that goes to show that we're prepared for whatever we have ahead of us, and that the challenges we faced all year, we're at the highest level still prepared for this weekend.
Kind of coming off of what he says, well, we faced some of the top teams in the ACC as well. We went to UNC and played at UNC. We were able to take one away when all 3 games arguably were pretty winnable ourselves as well. When we played FSU, they came into town. We put up a good fight against them on Saturday and ended up taking those games, and being able to face those guys, face those arms, was prepares for his moment.
Yeah, you guys won on the road last week and won in Hattiesburg as the 3 seed. Louisville won on the road in Nashville as the 2 seed against the overall number 1 seed in the tournament. Is there any advantage to playing at home in baseball at all, or is there any disadvantage of being the road team?
There definitely is somewhat of an advantage. I mean, obviously in Hattiesburg, there's a strong crowd, very loud, rowdy guys right there in the bullpen. Well, I think we as a team did a very good job of matching their energy in the dugout, making sure they were still alive and awake. Even when we were down that 9 spot, we still managed to get a couple runs back. And just being able to stay alive and awake in that dugout, and kind of regardless of where the game is at, just make sure to keep pushing forward, keep putting up runs.
AJ, this is a very deep lineup ultimately that U of L features. They can kind of hurt you at any point in the lineup.
Yes.
What do you see as far as when you go up against them on Friday? Kind of how are you winning the matchup, and what will be the way that you try to attack them?
I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. I mean, just because it's a higher stage doesn't mean I have to change anything. I just don't need to be perfect. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, keep pounding the zone, and just keep inducing ground balls. That my stuff play.
Can I make a statement on that? I know you said they have a strong lineup, but I think Ciscar has proven himself, and he's shown that he can get anyone else, and I think he's ready for this.
Daniel, you guys didn't play each other this year in the ACC, obviously, but last year down at your place, it was a really good series. I think the first game was extras and that. Totally different teams, but do you take anything away from, past history of trying to learn some stuff about, will you, I think you had a grand slam, or I know you had a home run in the one game. will you take anything away from like how they pitched you or anything like that?
I mean, not really. I mean, they're a competitive team. I honestly don't know how many returning guys they have or what their starting lineup looks like compared to last year, as well as given their pitching rotation. So I only know Forbes is returning, Living, and maybe a couple other guys, but I don't really know who they're going to throw and what the situation is going to be. So depending on the situation can determine a lot of what I might see in that day or that at bat. So I can't really base it off of last year. I'm just going to be prepared for the situation.
Yeah, Miami has a really strong and proud tradition in baseball. They've won national championships in the past, and there are a lot of big league players, pro players that come from the program or live in Miami. Do you guys work out in the off season with any MLB players, and if so, who?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of former players, Yohandi, Morales, J.K. Fiss, plenty of other guys, pitchers who come in and work, and they come in the offseason, come in the weight room, and they even come practice with us on the field sometimes if they need to.
Anything else you wanna open to the Zoom?
For
Yeah.
players?
Yeah, you want to open?
Or just for the, yeah, for the players?
As I said, they haven't asked questions.
Okay, we'll now open the Zoom up to any Miami media that would like to ask questions to players. We'll start with Matt Shadell from Kane Sport. Matt, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, well, this question is actually more for JD, if that's okay. So, JD, you guys lost 6 of your last 7 heading into regionals. I believe Louisville did as well. And you mentioned getting hot at the right time. Did you sense that they would get hot off of that before regionals? And can you sense now that maybe they'll stay hot? I mean, is there any sort of thing as a coach that you can see in that respect?
I mean, you say stay hot or get hot, you know, that's looking backwards and seeing, you know, what our record was over the last 6, 7 games, 10 games, whatever it is. But I can tell you this team's mentality is one game at a time, and that's our strength, right? I mean, no matter what happened yesterday, and you saw it in the regional, we got, you know, pretty much boat raced that Sunday night against Southern Miss. But there's no hangover the next day. That's been our MO all year, you know. So we have a great game or a bad game or whatever it is. We're 0-0, waking up the next morning, and anything can happen. So I'm not too worried about what the trends are with this team because it's a brand new team, brand new attitude every morning when we wake up. So we just hope to show up and be at our best on Friday. That's all we can worry about or think about right now.
Any other Miami media, please use the hand raise function.
You wanna have, we can open it here for questions for Coach while we're waiting.
I had a question for JD. I just don't know how to raise the hand. JD, you've obviously been around multiple teams that have advanced this far in your past. Is there anything unique about this team and, you know, their journey to this point?
Every team that's gone this far and beyond, right, to the World Series, it's unique in their own way. We've had some really talented teams, so we've got some strong pitching teams, some strong offensive teams, and this team is just balanced across the board, and our strength is in numbers, it's not in individuals. So that's the uniqueness of this group, and it seems to be somebody different every game. Of course, you know, this guy here to my left, to your right, is as good as it gets, and he got hot there when we went on that stretch in the middle of that ACC schedule, but he didn't do it alone. You know, everybody else around him also raised their game. And when we're going good, it's somebody different. It's someone different in the lineup, different pitcher, different arm, or whatever it might be, different defender. It's a unique group, and our strength comes in the numbers that we have.
I need to talk about not looking back to the last game, but what does it say maybe about not just the ACC but college baseball that the two teams that lost in the 15 and 16 seed on day 1 of the tournament are here playing in a super regional against each other now?
It's a crazy year. I mean, you look at this college baseball season, and you got the preseason number 1 and 2 teams didn't even make the tournament. And you got the number 1 and 2 national seeds don't make the super regional. So it speaks, you know, to the parity of college baseball. You know, anybody can beat anybody, and it's great. I mean, I think it's the best it's ever been. And you don't know who's going to beat anybody. And you know, back when I played in the '90s, it was a long, long time ago. But it seemed to be like the same 12 schools would go to Omaha every year. You know, 8 of those 12 would be in Omaha every single season. Now that's not the case anymore. You know, it could be anybody. And You talk about the power two or whatever it might be, or the regular season might be a tougher grind, but once you get to this point, anybody can beat anybody, and I mean, I love it. I love it. It's the parity of college baseball is great right now.
Yeah, I'll ask you the same question I asked the players. You guys were on the road last week, so did Louisville. Is there an advantage or disadvantage of being at home or away? And if there are any, how do you try to mitigate them?
I wouldn't call them advantages, disadvantages. I think the team with better makeup and character is at a lesser disadvantage by being on the road. And again, we were in an environment which was very hostile, and to me, I loved it. And most of our guys loved playing in it. That's the type of team that we are. So I don't think being on the road hurts us any. I'm not gonna say it helps us, but it doesn't hurt us as much as it might other teams. So depends again. The uniqueness of the team depends what that team and how what they thrive off of. Do they need their fans behind them, or do they need fans against them, or only the 30 guys are in that dugout? But that's all that matters. It doesn't matter where you're playing. And that's where we're at right now.
Coach, talk about your confidence in sending AJ to the Hill and what he brings to, I guess, this matchup against U of L, and what your expectations are for him.
He's earned it. You know, bottom line is he's earned it. It's not about expectations or anything like that. He's been very consistent for us all year. Even when he was in the bullpen prior to getting put into the rotation, he was very good for us. You know, so he's earned it, and I think the team is behind him, and they play. They're excited about it when he pitches. You know, so as far as expectations, we expect him to be at his best, and if that's enough, great. If it's not, we figure out how to win on Saturday and Sunday. But we know it doesn't have to be perfect, like you said. Just got to be persistent and keep getting after it, no matter what's going on. Keep getting after it, and he's the type of guy that he's we call it naive enough to just go out there and do this thing, you know. And the stage has never been too big for him.
Mike?
Coach, you got an assistant coach in Chris Dominguez who played here for Dan McDonald. Any insight that he's sharing with you as you guys prepare for the Super?
It's a matter of time before you brought up Chris. You know, Chris, we were here a couple years ago when he was our volunteer coach, and I think he got a standing ovation when they called his name out. So this is we say that the house mingle built. But you know, it's we're familiar with it. You know, it's a place where it's fun to play. But anywhere in college baseball is fun to play now, right? It's getting bigger and better every day and every season. And but he's you know, doing us all the little things that what to expect and stuff like that, and we're excited about it.
Yeah.
JD, going back to the parity you see in college baseball, and I'm asking you to look forward here. With the House settlement, once it's finalized and schools can expand to 34 scholarships and everything, do you feel like we might go back to the days where only because it'll be more of a financial impact, just the schools that spending the most money, offering the most scholarships, that kind of thing will probably be, the pendulum will swing in that direction? Do you think we'll go back to only seeing those kind of schools win, or do you feel like the parity can stay?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think, you're talking financial right now, there is no parity financially right now in college baseball. Whether it's NIL or whether it's scholarships or whether it's the cost of your institution. I mean, you know, it costs a little over $90,000 to, you know, per year to go to Miami, where some state schools are half of that, or not even, much less than that. I don't think that's the parity. I don't think it's the financial side of it, because at the end of the day, only one pitcher can pitch at a time and 9 hitters can play at a time. I just think that the quality of the college baseball play is getting better and better with the reduction of draft picks, rounds, the reduction of free agent signings at the end of seasons, just because they're just limited at-bats and innings in professional baseball on the minor league. So I just think the player is getting better and better. So I mean, it doesn't matter what team you're facing. They got a guy in the mound throwing 94, 96 miles an hour. You never saw that before. You know, I just think the quality of the player is getting better, not so much the financial laws, rules, whatever you want to call it, that in the sport, you know.
Coach, you just mentioned earlier about the history of your program, obviously the championships and the World Series appearances. First question, when you were there, did you guys go every year you were to the World Series?
All 4 years. I'm the Buffalo Bills of college baseball.
Okay. That's right.
Don't have to run. The Bills are my favorite team. So.
So you didn't win, you never dogpiled?
Never dogpiled. We were one out away in 1996 against LSU, and Warren Morris hit the home run. I was just pointing out they got Rosenblatt in the back wall there, and explaining to these guys how the wind was blowing in that day, or else Pat Burrow would have put it, made the game unreachable in the 5th inning. But it was blowing left to right, and down the right field line is the only place that ball was leaving. That's where Warren hit it right down the line there.
So what does it mean for you to, I mean, obviously you got work to do this weekend, not back in the World Series, but just to be back in the Super, and have the opportunity. What does that mean for the program? You know, like you said, it's been a little while.
This means we're closer to where we need to be. We're not there yet, by any means are we there yet, but we're closer to where we need to be, and we got an opportunity to get even a step closer. You know, Miami, we've had 4 great seasons at Miami. You know, in 82, 85, 99, and 01. The rest of the time we've had good seasons. Another, 21 good seasons that we've got in Omaha. The rest have been what happened. You know, so expectations are as high as anywhere else in the country there. And that's fine. You know, that's the way we want it. You know, we want expectations, but they give us every resource we need to get there, right? So without expectation, what are we doing it for? So not there yet. We're closer, and we're just looking for Friday night to get one step closer.
A-Rod's name is on your stadium. I don't think he played for you because he was signed out of high school, I believe. But does he come around, and do many of your former Miami players, are they around the program?
They do. A lot of them still live in Miami. Of course, like Daniel said, a lot of them work out there, and not even Miami guys. There's a lot of pro guys that work out. They never played in Miami, but I guess Manny Machado's probably the biggest name. He works out there every day, and our strength coach actually works a lot of those guys out. So, but A-Rod comes around. Me and A-Rod grew up together. He was the best man at my wedding, and I was actually supposed to pick him up for 8 a.m. class freshman year in Miami. And he called me at 2 in the morning saying that don't pick me up. I just signed with the.
Oh, he committed in.
He committed in South Miami, and but of course he's first pick and signed right before class. So but he comes around often. Not so much now. He just purchased the Timberwolves, and he's during the NBA season. He spends a lot of time out in Minnesota, and but he keeps in contact quite a bit.
Anything else?
James, you got anyone on Zoom?
Nope, we're good on Miami side.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate y'all.